arrested for carrying out a rescue mission and protest at Reichhardt Duck Farm in Petaluma, which they accuse of animal torture. More than 600 activists with direct action everywhere stormed the slaughterhouse Monday, fanning out in teams to chain themselves together at the entrance, freeing dozens of ducks and in some cases locking themselves by the neck to the slaughter line.
Freeing ducks. They're freeing the ducks, right? So they're freeing these ducks, and where are these ducks going to go? What do you mean freeing the ducks? If I come to your house, if I come over to your house or your business, and I start freeing it of the inventory, what's going to happen to me? What happens to me if I start freeing your business of its inventory? You're freeing the ducks. See how they frame this? Remember, you had the Guardian that was paid a hefty sum of money. The Guardian, who they even have a special page talking about how they work with philanthropic partners like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in order to bring philanthropy, to philanthropize the world. So these media organizations, they get chunks of money to run specific campaigns. And we looked at the Guardian's campaign that they were paid for about animal welfare and animal rights. Okay, so one can assume that, one can extrapolate that the Guardian is not the only organization that's being paid hefty amounts of money to run long-term social engineering campaigns on certain topics in their editorials. So, Democracy Now! Also running this. Oh, they're liberating them. These are brave activists liberating the ducks. Right? They're going to go liberate some dogs from your house. They're going to go liberate your backyard chickens next. Shit, maybe they can liberate your children and help them to be re-educated into the ways of veganism. Now, they should go start liberating rural children in Texas. See what happens. Oh, wow, dude. I like this shot. You got here, let's make sure we got enough bandwidth here. Quintessential, soyed out millennial. No, he a Zoomer. He younger. He's a Zoomer. He's like 20. Gape mouth, open mouth breathing. Look, he's gape mouth at the awning. He's staring down like, oh, dude. Oh. We gotta stop it. We have to stop the death machine. These people are just working. They have a shitty ass job. Shitty job, right? These activists. They're gonna come liberate these people from having to have this shitty job that at least pays them. Right? But I guess they should be working for these activist networks and the donor instead. And we can liberate you from your jobs feeding people, and we can give you jobs. The donor will help you get jobs, busting into people's property and shutting them down. There you go.
At the slaughterhouse, the activists began using U-locks on their own necks, locking themselves to the metal duck slaughtering production line. In a shocking move, an employee of the slaughterhouse then turned on the belt, threatening the lives of the activists and nearly asphyxiating one man who was dragged by his neck and wedged against a metal pole.
So you're going to blame these people are putting padlocks.
If you want to be the big man, the big daddy.
You can hear
these poor victims who locked their necks in a U-lock. They were robbed bike locks and locked themselves to a moving machine. There's poor victims.
Panicked organizers frantically working to unlock him in this next video. A warning to our viewers, this footage is disturbing.
A warning to our viewers, this footage is satisfying and hilarious. As you can see, in their natural environment, the professional activist network knows how to work together to systematically, ritualistically suicide themselves. When deprived of proper nutrition, it becomes much easier to convince these Zoomers and millennials to bring padlocks and lock their fucking neck in a moving machine. If the Royal Society could simply continue to promote such activities, we could perhaps bring the planet's population of human beings down to as close to zero as possible, allowing Mother Earth to breathe again. This is Tristan Attenborough reporting to you from the front lines of how to be a good global citizen. As you can hear, the castrated males have a shrill voice that can be noticed from miles away. Females recognize this voice as potential money from these so-called simps. It becomes difficult to tell if they are truly in danger because these effeminate young soy boys are always screaming rape. When rape or murder do happen to occur, these vegans are so confused about how to label it.
Difficulty. Again, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
Hench herbivore in his natural environment, proving the bigness and the strongness. Thank you, Hench. Appreciate that. And that's the best way to super chat is through the Streamlabs. That's the way to go. All right, so we got a super chat here through the Streamlabs. Thank you very much. You guys are the reasons you still get these streams. The real Cooter Brown over here, keeping these streams going. Real Cooter Brown donates $7. Says that video of the activists locking themselves to that machine is a case study in when keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah, and keeping it real dysgenic. As you can see, the castrated male doesn't really know how to help this man out of the bite lock, so instead he screams irrationally and yells. He learned this behavior likely from his mother, who, raising him alone, while taking a steady diet of prescription pharmaceutical psychotropic drugs, taught him that the only way you can get attention in the world is by complaining, whining and crying, and pretending to be a victim.
Oh my God! You're okay. Do the key. Get the key. What number is this lock?
Characteristically unprepared for a serious situation where you may have to actually help an individual, human being or an animal, this young castrato frantically screams like an effeminate donkey.
That's not 7. 8.
He has 2 keys in his hand and spends 30 seconds deciding which key to try to release his friend here, who's about to have his head ripped off by a machine that he locked himself to for the animals.
The activist, Thomas Chang, was taken away by ambulance and treated for nerve...
The idiot, Thomas Chang, was brought to a hospital where nurses told him that he is an idiot for doing what he did.